Hello, our viewers. We welcome you to our channel Lion Movie Scenes. We are so excited to recap this movie about this man called Mike O'Donnell who turned to his 17-year-old self by a magical transformation. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more. This one is called Ned Gold, a sci-fi video game and magic enthusiast. He has been his best friend till present day, and they abide in the same house. At work, Mike's boss in the meeting is so excited to appreciate the most hardworking employee of the year, and down deep, Mike is so sure is the prize winner. Unfortunately, Wendy, his workmate, won the title, and this blew him away. So disappointed because he spent 16 years working for the company. He went to his boss, but he gave him no attention, and he broke his headphone. Now that he feels his life is totally broken due to the problems in his family and at work, he drives to his former high school, reached the basketball court, and he started to remember where all this started from. He was one of his high school favorite basketball players in 1989, and their coach had hopes in him to be one of the best NBA basketball stars. But he had a girlfriend called Scarlett, who just told him that she is pregnant, and he had to choose over getting the scholarship and marrying her. Standing in front of the photo of his basketball club in 1989, an old man who is the school cleaner called out his name, Mike. He replies and says that he wish he could go back to that age and fix some things, but the old man heard it. His son and daughter are studying at the same school. He takes them to have lunch and then drops them at home where he found his wife wanting him to sign for divorce. That evening, he drove his car on a bridge in a heavy rain where he saw the same old man he had met up in his former high school trying to jump into water. He ran so fast to help him, but he drowned too. Coming back home, he took a shower, but he looked in the mirror and he realized that he was 17 again. He got so scared and he made a loud noise which woke up Ned because he thought he was a thief and put on his armor and weapon to fight him, ignorant that he was Mike, his best friend. Mike kept explaining to him until they got tired, hurt, and they sat down, each one with a bag of ice on the bruises. They filled the table with books to make research for what had happened to Mike until Ned read something about magic spells, and this reminded Mike about the old man who he was trying to save on the bridge. Mike immediately runs to school to find the old man. He explained the identity of the man to everyone, but the answer was, "We have never seen that face here." But as he was moving around, his eyes were set on the basketball court, and this clicked in his mind about joining the school. So he came to Ned and told him about joining the school. Ned agreed on that idea, and they came to school the next day. While in the office, Ned crushed on the principal because of her beauty. So after they signed Mike at the school, he moved out with his funny looks, and he tried to talk to the pretty ladies, but they ignored him. When Ned saw him, he suggested to go for shopping, and the next day he arrived at school with a hot tycoon look with a brand new car, and all the girls that despised him crushed on him. The moment he sat in class, his wife called him to remind him to come, and they sign off the divorce papers, but he saw his daughter with her boyfriend and friends, and he also sent them greetings. The next day, Mike was playing basketball in the school court, but the same coach that was there saw him, but he couldn't recognize him, but he welcomed him to join the school team. He then moved to the washrooms where he suddenly saw his son Alex being bullied and tied with ropes in the toilet, and he asked him to tell him who did that to him. He then freed him and they went to have lunch. During lunchtime, Alex saw the guy that tied him up in the toilet, and he reported him to Mike. The same guy was the boyfriend to Maggie, his daughter, and he saw them kissing, but the guy saw them too, confronted Alex and started the bully again, which pissed Mike off. He asked him to stop, and the guy asked him that what can he do about it, and then made a mistake and threw a ball in Mike's hand, and this gave Mike a chance to despise him and also shame him in front of the students about his bullies by showing him that he knows nothing and he is stupid. The next day, he went at his wife's home and found Alex playing basketball, and he asked him that what's delaying you to join the school team, but he replied that he needed more practice to perfect. As they were playing, his wife came back and got astonished by looking at his husband's 17-year-old cute face, but her friend took her away into the house. In class, the teacher decided to give sexual advice about condoms, and Mike narrated an emotional story, which made all students to refuse to use the condoms, but Stan took them all and told Maggie that they can use them all, which turned into a fight between Mike and Stan. The fight was recorded and shared to everyone in school, and they laughed at Mike because he was heavily beaten. That evening, he came and met Scarlett, his wife, though she doesn't recognize that it's her husband. Mike introduced himself as Uncle Mike's nephew. They then moved on to the garden, and he helped her with some work. Days went by as Mike was helping Alex with practice. Even at school, he also made sure that Stan wouldn't play around with his daughter, and whenever he could find them, he made chaos to stop them. His best friend, Ned, continues to court the principal by bringing expensive cars and paints until she accepts a night date. One evening, Scarlett calls Alex, her son, and Mike to show them how she had designed the garden. It was so beautiful, and this made Mike so happy. That very night, Scarlett had a night date, but he had to practice some dance strokes, but Mike found him and asked to help her with dancing. As they were dancing, Mike called her a name her husband used to call her in high school, and he tried to kiss her, but Alex found them. Then Scarlett left for a date. In that very evening, Mike and Alex went to the bar. While they were moving around, Alex saw his crush and trembled, but Mike told him to confront her as a man. As Alex was talking with his crush, his foot caught fire, and at that moment things had messed up. And to the side of Mike, he tried to advise Maggie to separate ways with Stan, her boyfriend, but she couldn't accept it. That night was a bad shot, and the next day at school, as they were playing basketball, Mike saw Scarlett with his new boyfriend, and he got jealous. As they were playing, Mike threw the ball in Alex's hand, and he shot to target, which gave a win to the team. Everyone celebrated, and Alex was surprised by a hug from his crush. Dean's consistency to courting the principal finally broke through, as she accepted to go for a real date, and he left celebrating. Mike announced a party that evening, but as he moved around the school, he found Maggie weeping because Stan had chucked him, but Mike comforted her and advised her not to go back to Stan. He also welcomed her at his house party. Messages were shared to everyone about the party, and that evening, it was an outstanding home party in Ned's house. That very evening, Ned is with the principal on the dinner date, but their interaction seems to connect, though Ned's actions seems awkward. Stan sneaks into the party and tries to reconcile with Maggie, but she refuses. Mike comes in and tries to box him, but missed and was punched in his face, and he blacked out. Waking up, he found himself lying on Maggie's thighs, and she was touching his chest and calling out his name so that he wakes up. When he woke up, he ran and sat near the door, but Maggie started chasing him thinking he is playing, but he was avoiding his daughter to touch him.
She warns him to be careful next time, and she moves out. Mike also follows, but he meets Scarlett looking for Alex and Maggie. Scarlett asked him whether he has met any of them, but he replied he hadn't, and that same time, Ned finds his car on his way home with boys shouting, and this made him angry. The principal stopped the party with a mouth whistle, and he asked everyone to leave the house, but as they were moving out, Mike was with Scarlett, and he kissed her. Everyone saw, and Scarlett slapped him, and she walked out embarrassed, but Mike shouted to him that I am the real father of your children, but she couldn't give him attention. Maggie got angry and slapped him. Even the girls that had a crush on him slapped him too. The principal apologized to Ned for what happened and left. When Mike came to Ned, he also gave him many slaps to show him how he messed up the night. In the morning, the compound had to be cleaned up, and Ned was cleaning inside his house, but Mike was sitting on the stairs so depressed. Mike remembered that it was the day for signing off the divorce papers in court. He told Ned about it, and they immediately got into the car and they drove to the court. At court, they were already waiting for them, and the judge asked for the husband, but they quickly replied he is coming, but she wanted call off the divorce session to next month. At the same time, Mike and Ned arrived and entered in court. Everyone was amazed, but Mike pleaded with the judge to read a letter from Uncle Mike. They resisted, but Scarlett asked the judge to let him read it. When he began to read, his tone changed. His eyes became teary. Every word that he uttered hit directly to Scarlett's heart. After reading he put the letter on the box and left the court. Scarlett requested the judge to postpone the divorce meeting, and she went to read the letter, but she found nothing but short routes they used to reach the court. That evening, he came back so depressed, but he decided to play basketball, but Ned was watching him, and he told him that as long as you spoke your heart out in court, it's enough. Mike just replied that he lost his family again, and he can't understand it. Also, Scarlett brought out the 1989 album with the photo of Mike at 17, and it looked familiar with him now. She also found a written letter outside. It had a ring and some few words from Mike. The next day at school, they had a championship match between another school. Mike, as he was playing the coach, attended to him and told him that he is gonna receive a visitor who may give him a scholarship, and he told him to play very well. After the photo shoot as their mannerism, the match had to begin with cheerleaders doing their vibes and people gathered up. Scarlett came with her daughter Maggie, and Alex's girlfriend is part the cheering team. The fun vibes were done and the match had to begin. During the match, Mike made a sign that Scarlett could only understand cause it was one of their playing signs. This shocked Scarlett and she ran downwards to look for the exit to leave the school. As she was going away, Mike was shocked that he recalled the same moment in 1989. When she wanted to him make a choice, Mike also gave the ball to Alex to use the opportunity to get the scholarship. Then he ran to find Scarlett. The old man whom we know as the janitor and magician was around and he smiled. Mike then ran downwards. As he was walking in the column, magic portals were formed and he reformed to his original self, but Scarlett had hid herself and she saw everything, and being surprised she told him, "It has been you all this time." Mike concluded that indeed it's been me. She forgave him and Mike carried her, and they kissed. Nan hit a jackpot and got the principal as his girlfriend and Mike woke them up to say goodbye because he was going to live with his family again. Thanks for watching. This marks the end of our movie. For more exciting movies, please like, share, and subscribe on our Channel Lion Movie Scenes.